when Jesus was taken to gallows for crucifixion, there are few people who supported. There were very few people who stood by his side. But others all thought he is a criminal. Many mainstream people those days, except the 12 apostles and the poor people, everyone, they were so sure he is a criminal. He has done blasphemy. And people believed it. A large section of people has stood against crucifixion. It would have been a different. The whole street would have come and said, hey, no, stop. This is not what Jesus is for. But the logic was such, it convinced the population, except the very few people who were very close to him, who knew, except those people, everybody else was convinced. And they know, yeah, he deserves it. To the extent, even the poorest washed his hands off, because as a king he knew, but he saw the demand from the majority of people to crucify him. So he said, I wash my hands off. I know he was innocent. But all these people think he is not innocent. They all think that he is the worst criminal because he offended God, or he is blasphemy. And so he was crucified. It was not small minority who thought he was bad, but the majority of them thought he was a blasphemy. He should not have the right to live. And so just imagine how much negativity it would have created in the whole of Jerusalem. When the whole Jerusalem is reeling with so much tamas negativity, just a few people who were his very close ones, their voice could never be heard. That was all suppressed. And they had to be silent spectators. And some even ran away, went away with that, went away with the big storm of negativity that came along. So it is all in the intellect, how the intellect perceives. It was much later, after so many years, then people could realize that what they were into was a negative cloud. By the time it was too late. And so Jesus was crucified. When he was crucified, that's why he says, they don't know what they are doing. Forgive them for what they are doing. Why? He knew it is a negative cloud that has overtaken. It's like a mob psychology. And the mob psychology gets into your head also. And so he says, they don't know. They are nice people. They don't know what they've gone to. It just took them into such a negative cloud. Forgive them for they don't know what they are doing. And then he said, oh my Father, God, have you forsaken me? That is when he said, well, I am only for sattva, the purity, consciousness. Why it is not standing up? Why the negativity took over? So he said, my Father, have you forsaken me? So that was a question mark. Later on, the world appreciates, people know what is truth, what is not true. So those who accused him and later on could realize these things happen in the world. That's why I would say, never be judgmental. Don't judge unless and until you go deep into any subject. Take it. I'm not saying you should not take it, but don't judge it and then put it in your head and reel about it. Your perception today is one, tomorrow it may be different. I never come to a conclusion unless I hear both sides of the story. Sometimes husband comes and tells me something, and then little later wife comes and tells me something else. And similarly mother-in-law comes and tells a story. Later on daughter-in-law comes and tells another story. So I never conclude anything. I just listen to everything. And then I take my own decision. That is what I think is we all have to do. Don't be impulsive, quick in taking judgment decisions on, on the face value of anything. Go deep into it and then, have compassion in your heart. If we don't have compassion, we are not human beings. What do you say? Isn't it? If we don't have compassion, we are not human beings. The energy that we are feeling now is sattvic energy, sattva. Sattva means that brings light, that brings joy, that brings happiness, that uplifts the spirit. That is sattva energy. Rajas energy is agitation. Too much agitation, restlessness, and then sudden hype and sudden down. This is Rajasic energy. You'll find it in rock band and big concert happens and then people are not calm after that. I feel jittery. And it brings some happiness also. It's a mix. In rock concert, just people are happy and then they are jittery, not settled. Here, in satsang, when we do singing, there is energy, dynamism, and there is calmness, serenity also. That is sattva energy. So rajas energy is also good, but tamas energy is hatred. When people get together and they blame each other, they always pound on, they pick on all little things and get so agitated and sort of, this is called tamas energy. All that it has only destruction. They just want to destroy. It doesn't matter if something works or not, their only goal is to destroy. This is tamas energy. You will find all the three things in the world. The destructive tendency cannot reform anything. And then there is rajas energy, which is dynamism, no doubt, but restlessness. It is coupled with anger and also valor. And sattvic energy is always that brings joy, enthusiasm, challenge. I'll take the challenge, okay, we'll do it. Taking challenge for big things and always being hopeful. This is sattvic energy. So the three energies take part in the functions in all spheres of life. Human life is to grow from tamasic to rajasic to sattvic. More and more sattva, there is more and more happiness in the world. The main goal of art of living is to create more sattva. And yoga, meditation are all the tool to create that sattvic energy. But all three exist in the world. You cannot totally eliminate any one of them. They do exist. But we should see that sattva dominates. So same in your life also, sometimes you feel so dull, you don't want to do anything, and you feel little negative. Just know, oh, now is the time for all the negative energy. Now it is tamasic energy happening. You should stop identifying yourself with the tamasic energy. Oh, I am so dull, I am this, I am that. See? Don't attach yourself. You just see this is a dark cloud that is coming in, it's going to go away. Similarly, when the Rajasic energy comes, you notice this is Rajasic energy. It depends on the food and the company and the people and the information we get in. So you need to really look into it. Negativity, you have to rise from that.
Is enlightenment boring?
Do I look like bored? If it's boring and not charming, I would not go on for it.
How can I stop being so jealous and envy?
Remember, you are going to die. And the person whom you are envious is also going to die. Maybe even before you. So everything is going to finish here. Then how can jealousy stay?
Dear Gurudev, what is the difference between meditation and so-called hypnosis?
Meditation is just the opposite of hypnosis. Meditation gives you self-power. It gives you self-centered. Hypnosis is, it makes you tired, it makes you consume more oxygen. Maybe good for, as a therapy, but not good. You are not in control of yourself.
Dear Gurudev, I feel like my heart is blocked.
No, don't worry, don't. You have come to the right place. We have all type of openers here. You cannot go closed. When you are here, it will be open.
Dear Guruji, how can I get over my childhood traumas?
Remember, our life is like a river. Every minute there is new water in it. We have to shun the memories, shake the memories off. See it as a bad dream. It has happened, finished. Right now, you are new, fresh, you are alive. This is what we need to focus on. Memories are fleeting, they are not etched in stone. So our consciousness is fresh and alive. We must recognize that aspect of a consciousness. See from your childhood, haven't you done mistakes? How many mistakes you did? How many times you stumbled and fell down? If you now sit and regret, oh, I was crawling, I stood up and I fell down, I fell down. Is it of any use? No. So every mistake, every wrong things you have done also made you strong and you grew up and then you went out of that. Just look back, 20 years ago you took some wrong decisions. Haven't you? How many of you have taken some wrong decision 20 years back? But you have moved out of it. It's all gone, isn't it? And it has helped you to grow in some way. You have repaid some karma from that. Sometimes we have to repay the karma. And it presses you to do things like that. It forces you to do, your karma compels you to do some wrong actions. But afterwards, things change. Did I tell you once I stole a tea bag? This was some 20 years back. I was in South Africa. So I was in Durban. Usually I go in my room, I go out of my room, I don't go into somebody's room. That day, I was very restless. I wanted to go to the people who are traveling with me, their room. I walked into their room, just a little restless. I went into that room and on the table there was a bag, gift packet. I didn't know what was in it. I mean, in some way I know it was some tea, some special tea. That was a bag kept there. I asked him, who does this belong to? He said, we don't know. I looked at it and I took that and I told someone, that person, you put it in my bag, in my suitcase. He was so surprised. First of all, I don't drink tea. I never drink tea. And he was surprised when Gurudev asked, who this? We said, it is not ours. And still he took it up. I felt very calm once I took that tea bag into my bag. My restlessness was gone. You know, people felt very strange. But it turned out to be one gentleman from Johannesburg. He came to the airport. This elderly gentleman, he was in his 80-year-old person. He comes and I sent you a tea bag. Did you get it? I looked at people who were assisting. I said, yes. So, the karma is such. Sometimes you rationalize your actions. It is many times futile.